girls, they read my stuff much better than I do. So I've known these guys since high school, and we have lots of embarrassing stories we could share, but this is a poetry reading, so
You can put a little embarrassing story in there. We can do it about Mark Joseph.
I don't know them that well. Renaissance. I watch her selecting her outfit for the day of teaching. Giotto and Michelangelo. She stands thinking, this top, gray, this skirt, black. Ask me what I say. And I say, you look beautiful. And she smiles. Love. I am one in a long line of witnesses, honored beyond Michelangelo and Giotto, say I, beyond the lithe imaginings of Leonardo. I'd like to think they'll study us someday, testing knowledge of her style, her makeup, hair, and quietude standing there, the line of her back, the tune she sings, her shoes, her sweet underthings.
Yeah.
The solstice tree. We're close to it, a few days. Hope we're all celebrating on that day.
Yeah.
Right? Solstice
Yeah.
is important. The solstice tree. Yesterday we got a tree. Me and my daughter. Home for the holidays, like we always do. This year we hunted far afield till we found the true, full, gnarled man of winter. He stands at a tilt. His top's been broken. The wave of needles flows freely to one side. The mountain has bent him, but he has survived. It seems a shame we have cut him down. I know he was marketed to us. I can see the economics and the waste. But overall, the pagan energy I harbor wants to see the naked green man standing next to the stone and wood of the house.
All right.
And my daughter feels it too. All these wild things that I love. Still, I am not without respect for the God of heaven. I have kept Christmas as well as solstice. Not so much for the birth of the child as for the observance of my daughter and me drifting away from Bethlehem.
All right.
My dad died 10 years ago. I was very close to him. These are kind of emotional poems, and I'm an emotional guy, so I want to read them. I'll share them with you. It's called Death Watch. He's been off dialysis 4 days. Mom is out opening a checking account in her name only. He is resting in bed. I asked him what he is thinking about. He says, nothing. Last night I told him he's been a great father, but mostly we talked about fishing trips. The big salmon he caught at the wide bend on Haida Gwaii, that brought a smile to him. And the golden trout we hiked after, that was a year after the bypass when he nearly died on the golf course. He's caught all the fish he wanted. So it's okay to leave the river, to the sun and rocks, the bugs and crows. The hatches so profuse you'll breathe one in if you're not careful. the weed beds trailing pure as a beloved's green hair, a slow tailing of fishy water, and mostly the flashes of silver or gold against the far green. I told him I catch fish with his old cane rod, but I think he doesn't care. He's walking the bank of a stream I've never fished, seeing flashes in water I've never touched. Normally I'd be done by now, but I'm the featured poet, so I get to read a little bit more.
Yeah, you have time.
All right, okay, here we go. The shrinking. The shrinking. The air has run perfumed and glorious these 2 weeks. It enters my lungs, expands. It tires me with life, that and the death watch. He is shrinking. His bony knees, his skin is emptying. The old warrior, he does not rally to the recent good spring that has come upon us. The red dirt does not inspire planting. The open road has not lured him campaigning. The clear runoff, the buzzing hatches. He is not oiling his reel, cleaning his line. This, my friend, is the shrinking. It comes after you have lived with a woman or cast bread and watched it float away because you did the best you could and got no laughs till you found Poncho. I'm not him. I got my own shrinking to deal with. Please write me. Tell me your adventures, your loves, your small objects, the vehicles you've had. Be a good writer. Let us hear what has not shrunk. It's just a play. All these things we sought and that sought us, that were meant to build us up and sometimes did and sometimes didn't. We are left either way, looking foolish. That is fitting. That is the life for a man shrinking, to honor the grave foolishness that animates us, lest our anger dishonor those who went before us, who disappeared in the ballooning spring. The whirlwind. It's taking longer than he thought, his dying. He said so himself. I had thought he was so tired, the thumping of the staff would be welcome. Now I see the whirlwind is not so easy to leave. Your old friends have come to see you. You are surrounded by grandchildren. Your son sits by your bed and sketches his rock garden. Your daughters rub your neck and feet. Your wife remembers when you first came calling as a young man. Your friend remembers your baptism down by the river. All this for you, old man. We are eating and drinking, laughing and crying, telling stories and thinking of our own deaths, scared and grateful, having moments with you and each other. Some of us have come that hardly showed before, thinking it's safe now. What does it matter? He hardly knows us. Whether we come for you or for us, it doesn't matter. It's nearly over. We're having a drink on you, Dad. because I know you're okay with that, because the earth is cold. No hurry, really. No matter when the world ends, it's your party. All right, first poem to spring. The first poem this spring drips on ashes. They have burned off the flesh. Before that, I lifted his stiff body for the damn bureaucrats. And earlier felt his heat fading, but no breath. Clearly, he is somewhere else. I wonder, does grass come up in spring where there is no earth? Let him have his garden. Let him plant his tomatoes and nasubi. He would have planted by now. He is late this season. We did not let him go so easily. Okay, this is the last one of my father's poems, called Mercy. The stream is completed. It runs through the yard. Just an aside, this is the stream from the rock garden I was drawing when he was dying. I'm sitting by his bed. So I built it. The stream is completed. It runs through the yard and spreads water direct to the springy dirt. Unlike other streams, this one was built from grief. I have finally tired of building. Time floods me. It's time we only sit and listen. Listening honors the lovely riffle. It's time we only sit and listen for the movement of whatever moves in the stream that is not water. I go senseless with love when the moment blazes. Thank you. I have one last poem to read. Do I have time for one more?
7 minutes.
Finish early.
Good.
Okay. A dear friend of mine, of ours, lost his brother some years ago. His brother was a black man, lived in Pasadena, where I'm from. We're all from. And he had a little record shop. And I was charged with taking charge of all the records. I'm talking a lot of records. Boxes and boxes. This was his shop. His nickname in the family was Bumpty. This is all true. Bumpty's Last Jam. The Duke was there, and the Count was counting out lush life on his streaming keys for Bumpty, who's way uptown, up in his heavenly loft with his women and his smooth and his loneliness finally come together. You can see the women on the album covers he left. Hundreds of them calling out like sirens, brown and white, all made up for the day when they met him. And he, according to their charm and gifts, showered them in lushness and life and what he had to offer. He loved the sirens and the warriors too, and the lovers and the hard boppers and the soft crooners and the Hispanics and Sibelius and island music. all the oceans and country boys of all colors. And if that was your night move, and with your own love tapes, Mantovani. He had every mood covered for loving and carrying the soul of man and woman on the wind. What a jam. What a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, Mother, Brother, Daughter, here's what we sound like. Please this day accept us for the sound we make, not the wind you sent into the trees, or the rollers come in from the sea, or the beasts, or the whales. But this sound, our noise, our prayer, our essentially positive shout that echoes all through our lush lives, and all we could have kept silent about, the suffering and fear. And let us at least love tonight, to hold off the dread silence. At the end, he knew. He didn't look so good. Went to sleep one night and woke up jamming in perfect sunshine and no appointment with the blood machine. And damn, he said to himself, damn, that was a weird long dream. I had a son I hardly knew. He's a man now. And I fell into the lush life. And I knew Billy Strayhorn himself and his horn in the bubbling of time. I made lots of custom tapes for my customers that we played and played and played till the oxide wore thin and the roller caught up and jammed it and jammed it and jammed it while the ladies and me were jamming and working it out. But here, I've woke up all smooth, no effort, no loneliness, now straight. And honey, sweet lady, all day, all night, it's really you and me here in this all-nighter. But that weird long dream, if I dream it again tonight and I see my son in it, I'll let him know how it is to wake up jamming in pure sunshine. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.